One word.
This that. Back on the map, back on the right, back on the left, back on the back. Back with you, back with shit. I'm a beast in my habitat. This that. Back on the map, back on the right, back on the left, back on the back. Back with you, back with shit. I'm a beast in my habitat. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm a beast in my habitat. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm a beast in my habitat. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm a beast in my habitat. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shit, I'm a beast in my habitat. I'm a beast in my habitat. Shit, I'm a beast in my habitat. I'm a beast in my habitat.
Better than I dream. Bloody NBA. Scoring NFL.
Wow.
Foreign like a raid. Getting Biggie so happy.
Wow.
Big hit out my way. I might put you on my payroll. Put you on my page. I might take a bitch shopping with your money. Then go hit her. Hit her at your crib. Then come make you get it. Then I hit your sister. Answer me like sisters. Listen up, those switchers got her naked and they look straight. Wow, wow, wow. I'm proud that she know that I do it. I know I'm the coolest. I know I'm the realest.
Oh, damn. Welcome, everybody, to another week of Thunderdome Fantasy Weekly Report. I'm your commissioner, Evan Krill, Dragons GM. Y'all know what it is. How y'all doing? Go ahead and get my co-commissioner up in here, Mr. John Krill, Hammerheads GM. How you doing tonight? Don't hear you, sir.
Put your mic on, baby.
Doing good.
There we go. And we'll get that next GM in here, the Angels GM, Miss Pam Krill. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
All right, we flipped up the show a little bit, put this on Saturday because I had a hurricane going down on this past week here in Florida, so we had to push it a couple days. I thought I was off today, but I read my schedule wrong. I'm off tomorrow, so I figured whatever, we're going to get this done. We got football tomorrow. Sorry, everybody, for the weird day. We'll be back to normal next week, hopefully. We will end up pushing the week after that a little differently as well because it'll be Thanksgiving week, so y'all will have to deal with me on that one. It'll definitely be after a Thursday because you know how Yahoo is. They can't get the goddamn scores up to the right fucking score until Thursday, so we'll figure it out when it comes next week. We'll figure this out.
Up and down.
It's getting to the nitty-gritty, ladies and gentlemen. It's week 10, ain't but like 4 weeks left. In 5 weeks, including this week, 5 weeks. 5-week playoff race is starting. If anything can happen with a couple losses here, a couple wins over here, anything can happen still for a lot of teams. So we'll see how it turns out in these next 5 weeks. Crazy game Thursday night. Y'all haven't seen it. Carolina won. Crazy.
Yeah.
That in itself is crazy.
It shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, shouldn't have happened. But it did. Here we are. And we're going to have things, a couple of things going to be different with the show. I'm not reading off everything anymore. I kind of delegated things to different people now. So it's not just me talking the whole damn show and everybody else just like, yeah.
Absolutely. Whoa. We'll just sit here and bob our head.
Yeah, Ben Foreman did kill it. That's got to be Ben. Yeah, Ben Foreman did kill it. I know you got him and you played him this week. So
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Be like sounding like Eeyore over here.
I know, right?
Congratulations, man. All right, we'll go ahead and get to the first game, which was the Legend Killers versus the Crimson Elephants. Brandon came out with another victory. He's the last team undefeated in the league. This is crazy. This man 9-0 right now. Somebody got to knock him off his pedestal because he's talking a lot of shit over at work with John and Pam.
Oh my!
He's like, fuck yeah. I remember like, hello, yeah, it is Ben. I know it was Ben. You know,
yeah.
nobody else gonna brag about a player they don't have.
I picked up the wrong back. That's all.
Yeah. If I don't know how you get your name to pop up with your thing, there's got to be something that you accept for StreamYard on Facebook for it to pop up your name on the chat board. Otherwise, it just says Facebook user. If you switch over to YouTube, I'm pretty sure it'll tell me whatever your YouTube name is on that. Like we said, first game of the week was the Sin Eater. The Legend Killers versus Crimson Elephants. Been over here talking, got me sidetracked already. Just started. And the score to this game was 235.30 to 163.62. And I'll pass it over to Pam with the point margin.
Yeah, that was the 66.68 point margin.
66.68. Huge win margin for Brandon. I think this was the second highest of the week.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, so
congratulations
to Brandon, man. He's rolling through us like it ain't nothing.
I mean, we have yet to be opposition for him, so
somebody's got to do it.
It can happen.
Yeah, at some point, yeah.
I think I play him again before the season ends since I chose him to be in my division. Like, that shit won't happen next year. I'm picking the bottom half of the league next year. Fuck y'all.
He's gonna be like Notre Dame. He's gonna be an independent.
For real, man. He's gonna be by his damn self.
He's gonna be the last pick, the one standing on the line crying.
All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and
let's get started on the players.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And with that, I'm gonna pass it over to Mr. John.
All right, for the short-handed side of the game, the leading scorers on offense were Justin Fields with 48.72, huge game. Darnell Mooney had 17.50 points, and Justin Tucker rounded out the top three on offense with 10.30.
Boy, as soon as Chicago got Chase Claypool, man, Darnell Mooney, he finally got open.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had to have some sort of
somebody else, exactly, man.
A decoy,
Exactly. Now that you got Claypool out there, Mooney's gonna be something special, man. Him and Kmet, in my opinion. Ben, that was a good pickup grabbing Cole Kmet out the free agency. That was a good snatch.
On the defensive side for the Crimson Elephants, we had Zaire Franklin with 13.50 points. Arizona's defense had 12, and Aiden Hutchinson rounded out the top three on defense with 8 points. For the winning side offense, we had Tariq Hill with 27.30 points. Justin Jefferson, once again, with 25.50 points. And Cordero Patterson.
From the injury list.
Back right off the injury, exactly, with 18.30. On the
only person to do anything for Atlanta on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. On the defensive side of the winners, we had the New England defense with 35 points. Demario Davis with 16, and Isaiah Simmons with 14. And the player of the game for this was New England defense, 35 points.
You good?
Ben says
job, John.
Njoku's injured forced Cole into his lineup. Like, just glad they backed him up. Yeah. I mean, that was a good pickup, man. It really was. I was already thinking about it because I have Pat Fryermuth as my starter, and I don't really have a backup. I picked up, I think, Hunter Henry or somebody. I picked him up for 1 week just to see what he was going to do. You know what I mean? He ain't do nothing, so now he's back in free agency again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, player of the game, definitely Patriots defense for putting up that 35 points, which was well over his projection of 13 points. So huge game for that Patriots defense.
Yeah, they played huge in it, and they were playing against Carolina because Carolina had put that crap.
I'm glad I didn't pick up Atlanta's defense to play against Carolina this week.
Yeah, for real, man. It would have been sad.
All right, we'll get into the next game, which was the number 2 Angels versus the number 11 Orange Crush.
That was a bad thing.
And the Orange Crush pulled out the upset in this one, 218.44 to 183.92. This was a
34.52.
34.52 point win margin. So yeah, Jeff put it on her. I mean, and he still didn't break that 220. He still didn't break that 220, but he definitely put it on her with her and all her bye weeks she had this week in week 9. So,
well, and you know he's got a team now that rounding out
now that everybody's coming back.
Season, yeah, I mean we could be looking at him making a serious move toward the top, or at least trying to scratch into. That's a playoff spot, you know.
Yep. He's got this week and 4 more weeks to fucking scratch up his way up there, and he's definitely got a little nice squad that could possibly do it, you know, especially now that Hopkins is back. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a rough week for him this week because he's got Duvernay on bye. He's got somebody else on bye this week, too. I can't remember who, but.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't a bye. It was Hunter Renfrow, one of his keepers. He had to release him because now he's on injured reserve. So I don't blame him for releasing him, though, because he wasn't the player he was last year. Now that Devontae Adams is over in for some reason, I don't get it, though. Because why is it Mike Hollins or Mac Hollins or whatever the hell his name? Where the hell did this guy come from? You know, you got Darren Waller, who's been out the whole season, and you got Devontae Adams. Your number 2 player should have been freaking Hunter Renfrow, not Mike Hollins or Mac Hollins. I mean, I don't understand what Derek Carr is. He's screwing the pooch over there with this golden opportunity that he has. Their defense is young too. Yeah, their defense is very young, with the exception of their defensive line. Their defense is pretty damn young, linebacking core. I got Hollins on my bench. And what did he put up last week, Ben? Did he put up anything? Hunter Renfrow only put up 8.5, so he had to put up
if I'm not mistaken, Mac Hollins had
like 11 or something.
Teens. I believe it was in the teens. I think 16. I could be wrong.
I can switch over to Ben real quick to look at that. And while I'm switching over to look at that, I'll pass it over to John for the scores in this game.
Instead of staring at the camera. All right. For the offensive on the losing side, we're gonna go with Cooper Kupp. Had 26.80 points. McCole Hardman with 24.10. And Jalen Hurts with 24.02.
Mac Hollins didn't do anything last week. He put up 3.7. It was Devontae Adams who did everything last week. I remember it was against Jacksonville. Yeah. It was the week before last that I was – exactly, yeah. His big scorer this week that was on the bench was Kenyon Drake. And I bet he was kicking himself in the ass for that. Even though he barely lost. No, he lost pretty big. Okay, never mind.
Anyway. aside from the scores, I had read that reminded me of something. The Kenyon Drake. I had seen an article where after that game he had a large total. We had a really good game.
Yeah,
they drug tested him right after that. So apparently now they've gotten to the point where players that excel and have big games they test them for performance enhancing drugs. That's the craziest shit I ever heard. All right, it's like, oh, you can't just be a good
Did the
player.
Bengals do that to Joe Mixon?
Probably.
Dude put up some points, bro. He put up 5 touchdowns.
All right, well, let's get back to this. We'll be
Yeah.
on the defensive side for the Angels, it was Jordan Whitehead with 12 points. Philadelphia team defense was 9. And Jonathan Owens with 8.50. For the winning side, on offense, Orange Crush had Patrick Mahomes with 36.14. Travis Etienne Jr. with 26.60. Jalen Waddle with 19.50. And on defense, he had Jesse Bates III with 11.10. Jonathan Allen with 8. And Minnesota's defense with 8. And so far, the player of the game was Travis Etienne
He is
Jr.
not on my team.
More than double.
No, I think it was like
Player
10.
of the game. Was
Oh,
not
10?
on my
Oh,
team.
10 points. Yeah, he had 16-point projection, and he put up 26-point projection.
I thought it was flip-flop. My bad.
No, you're good. I just happened to be looking at it whenever you were going through it. That's all. Yeah, he put up the 26.60, which was more than 10.52 over his projection of 16.08. So, yeah, huge game for Etienne. And, he's the man now in Jacksonville, and I'm kicking myself in the ass for
Not
pulling that strategy in the draft last year and not taking Etienne sooner, because I was being stingy and waiting until he got to the 30th round, you know what I mean? Like, I get him in the 29th. Exactly. And then Jeff was like, I'm going to take him in the 29th and have him in the 28th. And I was like, yeah, you fucker. Like, shit. But whatever. And I took Cam Akers in the 19th round and got him as an 18th round keeper, and he ain't done nothing.
See,
so,
that's
I'm
where
really
it
kicking
does
myself
not,
in the ass.
That's where it doesn't pay to be a homer for people leaving your college team.
I know.
If that were the case, I would have picked, like, I don't know. I can't even tell you right now.
Marlon Mack.
Well, I did because I had good feel about Marlon Mack, and then he just, after that injury, he kind of fell out of favor with everybody. So,
all right, we'll get into the next game, which was the number 3 Bucks Life versus the number 8, the Pigskin King. Oh, I'm in the wrong game on this side, though. Show matchups. And this game was 199.20 to 192.78. Chris won this game on Monday Night Football.
yes.
Came back to win this game on Monday Night Football. This was a
whopping 6.42 difference.
And if I'm not mistaken, this was the lowest point margin victory of the week. No, second lowest win.
Second
What?
lowest.
Second lowest win margin of the week. All right.
Yes. Yes, I have firsthand experience at
Wait till we get to John's game. You'll understand.
Yeah. All right, and we'll pass it to John for the leading score. Sorry,
Yeah, all right. For the losing side, Pigskin Kings offense, Tua Tagovailoa was the leading scorer with 30.08 points. Alan Lazard had 18.70. And just so everyone knows, the player that is not on the trading block, Stephon Diggs, had 14.30 points. And so that everyone knows, he is still not on the trading block.
Doesn't matter that he had a bad game. He's still not on the trading block.
Not on the trading block. So anyone listening to
The Giants or the Jets beat them. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, that was insane. Let's see. For the defensive side, for the Pigskin King. Matthew Judon had 26 points. Jordan Hicks had 13. And Miami's team defense had 11. For the winning side, Bucks Life, Devontae Adams had 36.60 points. Kyler Murray had 23 points. And Miles Sanders had 15.30. On the defensive side, Marlon Humphrey had 14. Derwin James Jr. had 13.50. And Cincinnati's team defense had 10 points. And the player of the game was Devontae Adams with 36.60 points.
Yeah, which was well over his projection of 17.88. Now we're going to go ahead and let you know that Yahoo's player of the game was Derwin James Jr., but me and John decided that just because he beat his projection of 11.29 with that 13.50 didn't give him the right to get him player of the game.
Yeah, not by 2
So,
points.
so you don't trust me, Ben?
Oh, you're number one, Ben.
Yeah.
Hey, you're number two, Ben. You're number two. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, Yahoo had it as Derwin James, but me and John talked about it, and we moved it to Devontae Adams because the dude had 36 points. What the hell is Yahoo thinking? All right, we'll go on to the next game, which was the number 4 Dragons facing the number 9 Thad's Castles team. The Dragons beat Thad Castle's team 274.26 to 146.12. This was the highest point win margin of the week with
Oh my gosh, you smeared him, dude. I'm sorry. 128.14. Woo.
And no, this was not the highest point win margin ever. The highest point win margin ever was Joshua Miller against Pam, I believe, last year or the year before last. It was one of
We
them
are
years.
rubbing it again.
I'm sorry. I just putting it out there that this is not the highest win margin ever.
You did it twice today. You smeared my name, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
You know what?
You
Bad
also
shit
have
happens.
the lowest point win margin of and
All
that was
time.
what 0.10 of all time. Miller's laughing about this. He's actually, I think he's cheesing about it. That's not laughing. That's him cheesing about it.
That was me.
Just cheese, John. Cheese.
All right, so we'll pass it on to John for the leading scorers in this.
All right. Leading scorers in this matchup for the losing side, Thad Castle's team, Lamar Jackson had 19.52 points. Joshua Palmer had 18.60. And James, Mr. 1 yard rushing and 35 touchdown, 11.40. On the defensive side for Thad Castle, Sauce Gardner had 13.60. CJ
Have you
Mosley
seen
had-
his stats in man coverage?
Yes, that's insane.
Like 4 catches for 28 yards is his stats for man coverage against everybody he's played this season.
Yeah, everybody
That
who
dude-
played in man coverage. He is just
Like,
like a blanket.
fuck Trayvon Walker. I want Sauce Gardner. Like, what the fuck, yo?
Man, that's
Damn.
insane. CJ Mosley had 10.50 points. And Jalen Thompson and Buffalo defense team both ended with 7 points.
Sauce
On
Gardner.
the winning side,
Dun, dun, dun,
for the
dun.
Dragons, Joe Mixon scored every point for every team
On the team.
everywhere. At 55.10. Derrick Henry had 23.50. And Christian Kirk had 21.60. On the defensive side, Javon Hargrave had 27.50. C.J. Gardner Johnson had 12.
Chauncey
yeah.
Gardner.
Yeah,
Chauncey
not
Gardner Johnson.
everything I've seen said C.J. So we're going to go with C.J.
Oh, it did switch his name. It was Chauncey at the beginning of the season. Now it switched it to CJ. That's funny.
And last but not least, Foye. With 11.
He's been ready to say that.
I had one ready to pull the trigger.
I'm telling you, man.
The player of the game was Joe Mixon.
Yeah, he put up fucking 55.10, which was well over his projection of 16.97. So,
and the only person he beat out this week was Justin Fields. So
yeah. Yep. Well, besides everybody else, but yeah, Justin Fields was the closest to him. Yeah,
the closest. Yeah, you're right. I should have said that a little different.
No, I know what you meant. Javon Hargrave was Yahoo's player of the game in this because he had that 27.50, which was well over quadrupling his projection of 5.86. But we said, no, Joe Mixon put up 55 points, Yahoo. Y'all can suck it. Yeah. So he's player of the game.
If you score over 50 points, you're going to be player of the game.
All right, well, we'll get into the next matchup, which was the number 5 Sin Eaters facing the number 6 Kush Crushers. Sorry, about said Orange Crush.
Ooh. Wait.
Wait, no, sorry. It was the number 5 Kush Crushers facing the number 6 Sin Eaters. Sorry.
You had me confused.
Sorry, I had that backwards.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this was a 217 to 10 to 183.04. This was a
34.06.
34.06 point win margin for Miller and the Kush Crushers. Coming over now. You coming?
Where?
Like what? What's up? Where are you going? Are you coming to me?
Which house? I got to go to the other room to answer the door. So.
Me too. I'm in my bedroom.
Wait. He's not allowed in Georgia. He doesn't want to come to
He's in Minnesota, so he's in Minnesota. At the back door.
Oh no! Right here.
No, don't do that.
Nope. You don't want to come to Georgia. Remember that.
Okay?
Remember, no Georgia.
Shitting me, no.
All right, we'll pass it over to John for the leading scorers of this game.
Where my fingers are, that he's at the end of. All right. For the losing side, the Sin Eaters, Tyler Lockett had 17.70. Aaron Rodgers had 15.64. And Josh Jacobs had 11.70.
I'm out the back door.
He came in the back door. He said, coming over now. I was like, coming over? Like, what? You meant coming in now.
You get to town, dude?
I want Ben to see this cheese right here. You know? 34 points.
34.
So the defensive scores for Sin Eaters, we had Deron Payne with 21.
What happens when your whole team's going
Leo Mack with 12.40. And Grover Stewart with 10.50. For the winning side, Kush Crushers.
Keeping that streak alive.
We had Kirk Cousins
two?
with 20.40. Ramondre Stevenson with 16. And Rondale Moore with 14.90. On the defensive side, Zaven Collins had 24.50. Danielle Hunter had 19.50. And Rashawn Evans had 17. And our player of the game was Zaven Collins.
Yep. Once again, Yahoo had Danielle Hunter as player of the game, and we felt that Zaven Collins had about the same amount of extra points as Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter had 19.50, which was almost doubling his projection of 8, or actually it was doubling his projection of 8.81. And Zaven Collins had 24.50, which was well over doubling his projection of 10.34. So could have went either way on that one, but we went with the higher scored defensive player, Zaven Collins, which I believe was his first game that he actually did anything.
Zaven Collins?
Oh, no. Sorry. I'm thinking of
consistent.
Well, no, he's only had 4 games above 10 points.
Really?
Only 4?
Yeah. First game against Kansas City, he put up 11.5. Second game against the Raiders, he put up at 10.5. Then he put up 4 against the Rams, 7 against the Panthers, 4 against the Eagles. Then he put up 21 against the Seahawks. Then he put up 7.50 against the Saints, 5 against Minnesota. Well, Isaiah Simmons has been pretty consistent over the past 3 weeks, yes. But both of those linebackers, I mean, for some reason, Zaven Collins is a hit or miss, and Isaiah is starting to come into his own.
Yeah.
But the reason why Isaiah is starting to come into his own is because he's not linebacker anymore. He's playing that Mark Barron role, the safety slash nickelback slash.
Well, I mean,
he's actually moving around now. Yeah, what it was in college, exactly. He's now taking that role back over again in Arizona. So Zaven Collins is straight linebacker. He's the middle linebacker. He's the fucking captain of the defense. So,
so check this out, right? Minnesota, at the beginning of the year, ate Green Bay's cheese like it wasn't nothing. And then check my team out loaded with Minnesota and his team loaded with Green Bay.
I know.
Got that dominance, bro.
I know. I was like looking at your squad. Don't you have Dalvin Cook?
Yeah. I locked.
And you got Kirk Cousins.
I got Cousins. I got Cook. I got Madison, but he's on the bench right now. I didn't put him on the bench against Chris, man. So my secret weapon against Chris, Taysom Hill is tight end. Please, Taysom. I need him to
I can get you Adam Thielen if you need Adam Thielen, because I have him. I can trade him to you. I don't know who. I
don't need that many Vikings. I mean, they've already had their bye week.
They already had their bye week, so you'd be good with him either way. Speaking of trades,
Jefferson, then let's do it.
You ain't getting him from Brandon, bro. You ain't getting him from Brandon.
And Brandon ain't letting go of nobody, bro.
No,
I don't blame him.
I tried to I tried to trade him a defensive player for a defensive player, and he was like, nope. I was like, damn. I was like, my defensive player is scoring just as much as yours. But it was also Devondre Campbell, who was questionable for this week, and now he's out for this week, so it's kind of hard. I don't blame him for declining the trade. I mean, even though he does have more points than the player I was going for, he's got to be playing. He's got to be playing for the trade to even fucking count. Or
I was
even
checking
be
out
worth
the
it.
scores so far this week between me and Chris. And Thursday I got 14. He got 3. That shit don't mean nothing, man. Like he's still projected. He's still projected to get me at 239 to my 209.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get into the final game of the week, which was the number 7 Hammerheads versus the number 10 Hendricks Mafia.
We can always just say, Hendricks Mafia won and continue talking about other stuff. I really don't give a shit.
Hendricks Mafia won 239.60 to 235.90. This was
the lowest, 3.7.
Lowest win margin of the week with 3.7. Yeah, you see how I'm dead. You see how it's not just me reading off everything anymore, and they're like people just staring around. I got people doing my job now. I like it.
I got people doing stuff. It's cool.
Not just people sitting on the show.
I feel so special. I got a speaking part.
I get a speaking. Well, if there's any trades, you'll also have that as speaking part too. But no trades this week.
They're not going to do it.
All right.
So leading scores for Hammerheads.
Oh, he doesn't want
He's
to.
like, I don't even want to do it.
Guys. It was some fucking guys.
I had to hear mine.
They did some stuff and they scored a few points. No,
I got it. It's
no,
okay.
I got it. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, I gotta take my ass beatings as they come, right?
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
on the offensive side, Geno Smith had 24.80 points. Austin Eckler had 24.10, and Travis Kelce had 21.60. On the defensive side, Kirby Joseph put up 23.40 points. Drew Tranquil, wow, that fucked up, 18.50 points. And Richie Grant with 16 points. On the winning side, Hendricks Mafia, Kenneth Walker III had 27.90 points.
Damn, that's a nice keeper for him.
Yeah, for real. Josh Allen had 24.80, and Garrett Wilson had 17.90 points. On defense, Bobby Wagner had 19.50, DeMar Hamlin had 17, and Cameron Curl had 15.50 points. And the player of the game was DeMar Hamlin with his 17.
Okay, yeah, that was with Yahoo. He put up the 17 points, which was well over his projection of 7.16. It could have also went to Bobby Wagner, who put up 19.50, which was more than doubling his projection of 9.18. And if Hammerheads would have won, it would have been Kirby Joseph, who put up 23.40, which was well over his projection of 4.88. Yeah. He had them 2 damn interceptions last week. So
I rolled the dice.
Yeah.
I had read some good stuff about him earlier in the week, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna need a safety. Why not? I'll try to
give him a chance.
And sure enough, fucking paid off big time.
Oh, I was about to say, with those 2 wins over back to back in Cush Crusher area, they got the lights on back over there.
I mean, it's like he had extra lights turned on, and then
he got all the lights on now. He dipped out. He dipped out before I could say something. I'm like,
they must have shut down the internet, though. That's.
So, yep. Those are all of your games this week. When we're getting to the players of the week, offensive player of the week was none other than Joe Mixon, who put up 55.10, which was well over his projection of 16.97. Runner-up was Justin Fields, who put up 48.72, which was well over his projection of, like, I think 20. Defensive player of the week was Javon Hargrave, who put up 27.50, which was well over his projection of 5.86. And then the runners-up for defensive player of the week was Josh Uche, who put up 26.50, and Justin Houston and Matt Judon, who put up 26 points. Coach of the week was Jeff Beard Jr. of the Orange Crush, who put up that 30-point victory over the number 2 Angels.
Yep. Gotta give him props. He came out there and.
Well, wait a minute now. I got offensive player of the week and defensive player of the week. Why the hell I can get coach of the week? No,
he just had to rub it in one more time. That's all he had to do.
She goes,
That's all you wanted to do.
I
See how it is.
I didn't want to do it one more time. I was just, I had to name the coach of the week.
With all that being said, that finally puts week 9 and still the mystery of the 10 points to bed.
Oh my goodness! Please just give it up.
I mean,
It's done, John. It's okay.
No, I hold grudges. Okay, me and Yahoo are gonna have a sit down whenever the season's over. We're gonna discuss them getting their shit straight.
Honestly, I'm thinking it might have been Carter. Carter might have been part of it because of the kick return yards. He gets kick return yards and punt return yards, and maybe they didn't add that in until later. You know what I mean? Because he had 47 return yards, so that's 4.7 right there that they probably missed. And then maybe, there was a little bit here and there that got added in as well.
Bullshit. I want real-time scoring.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm definitely frustrated with that shit. Like, I'm sick of fucking Thursday morning being the final time that Yahoo's getting their scores all done. Like,
he's
it's
such
all
a
good.
sore loser.
It was no. I say all that in fun. It was kind of weird to begin with, but then you know what? It is what it is. If it were really a mistake, then it would have got fixed Thursday. So
yeah, exactly.
So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm having a poor year. It's just what makes it look so bad is I just come off winning the championship. And
exactly.
It's never a good time to go from first to worst. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It just happens. Everybody has a bad year. I made bad choices
in the draft.
Yeah,
me too.
Exactly.
Me too. Like, we all did because Brandon is sitting with a fucking stacked team right now. So we all messed up during the draft.
Everybody is watching.
Hey, we didn't all mess up. We didn't all mess up. Some of us has got bye-week problems.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's true.
That's all my problem is bye week.
But,
I mean, I can't really. I mean, Ben has a good roster. He just Green Bay has been taking a shit on him, and that's been hurting him because he's got a lot of Green Bay players. So like,
exactly, it's hard to be. It's like as bad as I wanted to have Jacksonville players, I knew it probably wasn't the right time. And then,
that's why I went for certain players. I went for a quarter. I went for Trevor because I know he's a QB. He's going to put up, he's going to put up 15 or more points every time, which is not good for a QB. You need 20 points or more for a QB every week, honestly. But, I was like, he's going to be my backup to Burrow. Okay, it's late in the draft. I'll snatch him up. Christian Kirk, I grabbed him 2 rounds early because he was the number 1 receiver going in, and I was like, okay, he's got to throw to somebody. And then he was consistent, and then he fell off a little bit. Now he's starting to be a little more consistent, but we'll see how that plays out for the rest of the season. My defense, I had to go Oluokun. Or Oluokun, sorry. I had to go Oluokun because of how much I read his name last year being on fucking Sean's team. So I was like, yo, I'm fucking getting this motherfucker. You on the Jags now? He gonna be on my team, So.
I guess that was part of my problem was I tried to stay true to the roster that I had last year. For the most part, and that can get you. That just proves
that can bite you. Yep, that can bite you. I do that a lot in basketball, man, and it's kind of bit me in the ass a couple times doing that.
And during this past off season, I waffled back and forth with who my keepers were going to be.
Because you weren't sure about what was going to happen with Geno and Drew Lock over there in Seattle, and then AJ Brown went from friggin' Tennessee over to Philadelphia, so it was kind of like,
Didn't know what to expect. Didn't know what to expect from Hurts. I didn't think
Hurts has surprised me. Exactly, Hurts has surprised me. He definitely has. I'll give him that. He has surprised me. I still don't think he's all that great. He's going to be an elite QB, but he's definitely going to be better than Fields and Zach Wilson, and he's definitely going to be better than them. So
you have to admit one thing: all he can do is get better at passing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? As long as he's
got the perfect coach in Philly to help him with that shit.
Well, as long as he doesn't treat it the way Mike Vick did whenever he was in Atlanta, where we're just going to do what you're best at, and to hell with teaching you how to be a quarterback.
Kind of like Fields has been the past couple of weeks, where he's running every time it's man coverage. He's like, see ya. He's like, see ya. Man coverage, I'm out. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's putting up numbers, but it's not passing yards. He's only had like 148 passing yards last week, but he had 3 passing TDs. So it was like, okay, that works.
Well,
so like,
at the end of the day, we're going to see a lot of this because apparently they're not training quarterbacks like they used to, and the way the
which
game
is crazy
changing.
Because when you go watch Ohio State, when Fields was over in Ohio State, he was passing the ball. But I mean, college is totally different than the NFL is. Like, it's a whole lot quicker. There's like
they have to play zone coverage a lot more in college because the speed is a little different.
Oh yeah, speed is fucking nuts in college.
So
you got thousands of players that are running fucking 4.2s and 4.3s and 4.4s.
Just to kind of give you a heads up, as a matter of fact, so I was watching a little bit of the Ohio State Indiana game today.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Marvin Harrison Jr. make a play.
Boy, I can't wait for him, bro.
That you wouldn't normally see out of any receiver, much less a college receiver.
Yep.
He's going out of bounds after making a catch. And he had at that speed, he had the knowledge to not bring that lead foot down out of bounds first and drag the back leg to stay in bounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he caught it and kept the foot in the air. Yeah, that was That's sick. Right.
That's just knowledge.
Marvin Jones Sr. was like, "Hey, coach, hey, let me show you what's up." Marvin Harrison, bro. It's Marvin Harrison, not Marvin Jones. It's Marvin Harrison. Sorry, Marvin Harrison Sr. was like, I said Marvin Jones Sr. because I don't know what I was fucking thinking, but it's Marvin Harrison Sr. He was probably even though it ain't his son, but yeah. No, Marvin Harrison was the bomb for friggin', Indianapolis for all them years with Peyton, and I can't wait to see what his son does when he comes to pros, boy. You could guarantee that's
he's
one
got
of
a bigger stature and everything.
Ain't he only a freshman or a junior? A freshman or a sophomore? I don't think he's that.
I don't think lying, man. I'm not
sure.
Exactly.
I'll look into that real quick. Hold up. Before we go into next week's scores.
One of the next ones,
there's also the other guy, Emeka Iguba or whatever his name is, that's for Ohio State. That guy's supposed to be a beast too. They got a couple receivers over there. Yeah, and dude, they just lost Garrett Wilson, who's a beast. Chris Olave, was supposed to be. Well, they said Garrett Wilson was the number one receiver in the draft. Yeah. I thought Chris Olave was the number one receiver in the draft, and they both came for the same team. Yeah, exactly. Other people said that Traylon Burks was the number one receiver in the draft, which I'd never heard Traylon Burks until they started talking about the damn draft.
And I don't think that we've had a fair shot of seeing what Traylon Burks can do.
Exactly.
I think he's more of a Debo.
He could be.
At least they say he can be a lot like Debo as far as his skill set.
Damn, that dude's 6'4" too. He's taller than his daddy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He is a lot bigger than his dad because his dad was like
6'2", 6'1", 6'2". Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll be right back.
All right.
And then Jackson Smith Najijiba or whatever. That's another one that plays for friggin' Ohio State that's supposed to be a badass receiver. Okay, he's a sophomore. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a sophomore. I want to see the rest of the damn receiving core for this fucking team because I swear the fucking Ohio State has the best receiving core.
Without a doubt. And that's why C.J. Stroud is always in Canada.
Marvin Harrison was only 6 foot. His son is 6'4". 6'1". And he didn't play for Ohio State either. He played for Syracuse. Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, I remember him coming out of Cuse.
Jackson Smith Najigba. Yep. Where's the other guy? Emeka Egbuka. That's the other one. Like they got some damn receivers in Ohio State, boy.
So we're talking about here we are talking about lineages like Harrison Jr. and Senior. And I learned something the other day that I had no idea. So J.R. Reed, that safety, I believe he's with
Seattle. Seattle, I believe.
Seattle?
I believe so. I'll look into that real quick too. Right here.
You know who his father is, right?
Ed Reed, I thought.
No.
Or not Ed Reed.
Jake Reed that used to play receiver for the Vikings. Which means his uncle is Dale Carter.
J.R. Reed is on the he is on the Broncos. He was on the Rams last year.
Yeah.
And the Reed I'm thinking about is he does play for Seattle, but his name wasn't J.R. It's something else.
Oh yeah. I thought he was like a defensive lineman though. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway.
Sorry about that.
But yeah. So I could see where he could be good because those two right there were definitely. That was the whole Chris.
His name is DJ Reed, and he's a cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, okay.
Current team, he's on the Jets right now. He was on Seattle, now he's on the Jets. Sorry.
Gotcha. But that's
yeah,
like
DJ Reed is the one I was thinking of.
That's like Duke Dawson. You know, he's with the Steelers, right? He was with the Steelers practice squad now.
Yeah, he's with Steelers practice squad. Another person that is at lineage is what's his face? The cornerback for, the safety for Tampa, Winfield. He's got that. His dad, Antoine Winfield's son, exactly. Then there's another one, also with Carolina Panthers. J.C. Horn, he was Joe Horn's son, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's definitely some lineage coming along, especially from players that we watched when we were growing up, like Young Bucks, exactly. When we were in school watching these players. Now all their sons are coming into pros, and it's pretty awesome to see. I
like seeing that because there's always going to be comparisons.
What's his name? Frank Gore's son. Frank Gore's son's about to come into the pros in like 1 or 2 seasons. The Mannings, Arch Manning's about to come up in like 2024, 2025, I think, after he does his couple years in college.
Who is it that running back?
Benny Testaverde's son played for friggin' Tampa for a couple years. I think he was on the practice squad for a couple years in Tampa. Which is crazy because Benny Testaverde was one of my favorite players just because of his name, even though he sucked. He was just one of my.
No, Benny was good after.
Exactly. He was one of them journeyman quarterbacks, kind of like Nick Foles or. Jake McCown, Josh McCown. Sorry, not Jake. Josh McCown. He was one of them journeyman quarterbacks. He kind of was everywhere. Bernie Kosar, another one that was everywhere. Like,
if you remember back, Carolina had called him basically off the couch. He was 40 years old, called him off the couch. He was there for a week, started that week. And I think they won the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he'd been around and seen it. So but no, there's a running back for Stanford, and I believe his father had played ball too. I'm trying to remember.
There's another one. There's a lot of college boys right now that are sons of NFL players, man.
I like to see it. I like to see talent like that.
Stanford. No, not Stanford. Stanford.
Stanford? What?
Running back. Love?
No.
E.J. Smith?
Yes.
Is that Emmett's son? That's Emmett's son. Yeah, it is. It's Emmett James Smith the fourth. Yeah, E.J. Smith. That's Emmett James Smith. Yeah, so he's with Stanford, and I think he transferred from a smaller school to Stanford.
He may have.
Oh no, never mind. It was Jesuit College Prep was his high school team that he played for, and it's kind of like a PK Young, in Gainesville. That's a college prep school. That's where I got the mix up from. It wasn't a junior college that he moved over. He went from a college prep school over to Stanford now.
Yeah. Well, Barry Sanders' son started out I don't think he started out there. Did he start out there? Damn, I can't remember now. I know he was with Oklahoma State at one point, and then he was with Stanford as well. I don't know what happened to him. That one right there was the one that was a shame to me because they were saying that he had the same skill set like his dad.
Yeah.
But what kills me is apparently not, because he is not on any team or in the league. So
no. He wasn't nothing like his dad. His daddy's the greatest motherfucking running back ever, and he played 10 seasons and gave up. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love Joe Brown. He is the greatest. I love Walter Payton. He's awesome. Also awesome. I love these great running backs, but if Barry Sanders would have played fucking 15, 16 years like he could have, he would have been the greatest running back to ever touch the field, period.
He would have put up numbers.
He'd have shattered Emmitt Smith's numbers. Like, Emmitt Smith would have never even reached the highest running back numbers if Barry would have stayed in the league. Like,
no, and we agree. But he would have put up numbers that everybody's trying to reach, like all the receivers are trying to reach Jerry Rice's numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been like that.
Dude, right now, what's his name's on pace to beat friggin' Jerry Rice's single season record? Justin Jefferson, I believe he's on pace to beat. Is it Justin Jefferson? Somebody's got, like, they're talking about somebody is got the chance to put up 2,000 receiving yards, which would be the first time ever that anybody has ever put up 2,000 receiver yards in a single season. And I believe it's Justin Jefferson.
Very well could be.
I don't think it's Cooper Kupp. I believe it's Justin Jefferson.
No, because a lot of what the Rams season hasn't been what it was last year.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff they do with Cooper is short yardage, dump off stuff to get, to utilize his run after the catch ability.
Holy crap. So apparently there's a ton of players in college right now that their dads were in the NFL. Number one is Notre Dame's offensive tackle Joe Alt. His dad was John Alt, who played for the Kansas City Chiefs back in '84.
Yep.
Washington linebacker Carson Bruner. His dad was Mark Bruner, who was a tight end for the Steelers in '95. Josh Downs for North Carolina. His dad was Gary Downs, the running back for the Giants in '94.
He was. I think Gary Downs was also with Minnesota at one point too. I don't know. Kush might be able to pick him up.
He said it says New York Giants in '94. He also played with Denver and Atlanta for Gary Downs.
Oh, I'm thinking further
Southern Miss running back Frank Gore Jr. His dad's Frank Gore. He could have played this year, but he didn't get picked up anybody. So Ohio State Marvin Harrison Jr. We know his dad played for the Colts. Boston College Drew Kendall. His dad was a guard, Pete Kendall. He played in '96 for the Seahawks. Yep. Colorado State quarterback Clay Millen. His dad was also a quarterback, Hugh Millen.
Oh, Hugh Millen. Yeah.
He played for the Rams in '96, or was drafted by the Rams in '96. Sorry.
Played with the Raiders as well.
He also played for the Patriots, Rams, Atlanta, and Denver as well. So he played for some teams. Penn State cornerback Joey Porter Jr. That's Joey Porter's son from Pittsburgh Steelers. And he was a linebacker. I think he's coaching somewhere. Ain't he a linebacker coach for Pittsburgh or something? Or Miami? Or he was somewhere for a couple of years.
He was with Miami for a period of time.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, is playing over in USC right now.
You know, he had another son that played at UCLA as well. Jerry.
I should have known this, but guess what? Jackson State quarterback Shadur Sanders is Deion Sanders' son.
Yeah.
He's playing. I wonder if he's going to transfer to Nebraska with his dad.
Why did he accept it?
I heard that Deion Sanders got offered the job in Nebraska and he took it. But that's crazy because Nebraska just played Michigan today and got their ass whooped by Michigan in the snow.
I mean, it probably didn't take over. It probably ain't taking over right
Won't
now.
take over till the end of the. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, they're not going to give him in the middle of the season or whatever. Yeah. California linebacker Jackson Sermon was Peter Sermon's son, and he played for the Tennessee Titans for a couple of years. Stanford running back E.J. Smith, we already talked about it. That's Emmett's son. West Virginia defensive tackle Dante Stills. That's Gary Stills, defensive end for the Chiefs back in the day in '99. And one more. This is a grandfather-grandson duo. Mr. Madden himself. I don't know where his name is. It doesn't say his damn name. But John Madden, the grandfather-grandson duo, Michigan walk-on quarterback Jesse Madden is the grandson of John Madden. So backup quarterback over in Michigan is the grandson of John Madden. And it says there's more after that, but I'm not fixing to pull all that crap up to keep
we can be here all night long.
Exactly.
No, we won't because I'm fixing to go.
Well, I was about to say, I'm getting into the last segment of the show right now, and that is the Week 10 matchups. We got the number 1 Legend Killers facing the number 6 Sin Eaters. We have the number 2 Bucks Life facing the number 5 Kush Crushers. That will be the game of the week, as they're both ranked in the top 6. I mean, even though Sean and Ben were both ranked, I mean, Brandon and Ben were both ranked in the top 6. 2 and 5 sounds better than 1 and 6. 1 and 6 sounds like the first round of the playoffs. Anyway, Bucks Life, number 2, facing the number 5 Kush Crushers. The number 3 Angels facing the number 10 Pigskin King. The number 4 Dragons facing the number 12 Crimson Elephants. The number 6 is facing the number 7 Hendrix Mafia is facing the number 11 Thad Castle's team, and the number 8 Hammerheads are facing the number 9 Orange Crush. So
I guess I'm gonna get my turn to get my ass handed to me.
It's definitely a big game for Lindsay and David. It's definitely a big game for John and Jeff. It's definitely a big game. Well, I guess it would be just those 2 games. Everybody else is kind of
kind of a big game for everybody.
Everybody is. The last 5 weeks, it's a big game for everybody.
Really,
if you want a chance at the playoffs.
Even if you're just trying to save a little face, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the point I'm at. I'm just trying to save some face. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
You're like, if I can't get in the top, 7, 8? If you're in the bottom 3 after going from champion to the bottom 3?
I did not expect this type of year. To say I'm bummed would be an understatement.
Jeff, right now, Jeff's projected to beat you by at least 14 points. So,
well, guess what? It's not happening, Jeff.
Holy crap!
Pigskin. The Pigskin is projected to beat me.
I was just about to say the same thing. The Pigskin King is projected to beat Pam by like 15
But if you look at my team right now, I am missing a flex position.
Oh, okay. You ain't put anybody in it yet. All right, you're gonna have to do that tonight or tomorrow morning. Because
I gotta find somebody to put in there.
Yeah, you got till 9:00 in the morning. I think the game's 9:30.
Yep.
Yeah,
she'll have to 9:29.
You guys get to watch my guy Gino throw it all over the place. Him and DK are fixing to go crazy on that Tampa freaking defense. Something about being over there with Germany, they're gonna go off.
Come on now. It's the first game ever in Germany. Don't talk all that craziness.
I know, right?
Freaking crazy. What?
This is the first game ever in Germany.
I can only hope
I'm sitting here looking for a flex spot for her on free agency, and the first person that was going to be a flex spot is friggin' Jay Johnson for the damn New Orleans Saints. Everybody else is kickers, defense. Yeah, he's a tight end. Look, everybody else is team defense, kickers, and quarterbacks, all the way down to him.
Oh my god! All right, to hell with the flex
and then below him, the first person is Nico Collins, the receiver for the Houston Texans, or Christian Watson, the receiver for the Green Bay Packers. Which I can't believe he's on free agency, man, because that dude.
I've already gone through the list, man.
But look at what he's done.
I know he ain't done anything, but just his late round, I think he was drafted in the 25th round. That's keeper value all over it. Now, it all depends on whether Aaron Rodgers comes back for another year or not, which I'm pretty sure he said he's going to retire at the end of this year. So that keeper value.
At the end of the day, it doesn't make much of a difference because you got to have somebody to throw to, and the Dukes of Lazard are not it. So
exactly, yeah. After those two, it's 2 more tight ends of Isaiah Likely and Noah Fant, but Isaiah Likely's on a bye week because he's with the Ravens. And Noah Fant, if you want to play him, he plays at 9:30 in the morning in Germany against Tampa.
I mean, I'll talk Gino into throwing him to you if you want to, but I can't promise anything.
I feel bad. Yeah, there's nobody.
In a minute.
Isaiah Spiller? What did he do last week? No, you got friggin' Austin Eckler. There's no way that this guy's going to touch the ball when you got Austin Eckler on the fucking team.
And then the only other back over there would be
Sony Michel.
Sony Michel, and he you really don't touch the ball very much either.
Van Jefferson's out there, but in the 2 weeks that he's been back from IR, he ain't done nothing. He's put up 0 both weeks.
Well, they can't find any time for Matt Stafford, for one.
Yeah.
And Stafford's just – he can't look at through his progression past Cooper Kupp.
James Cook is the number 2 running back in Buffalo, but that's unless Naheem Hines comes back and takes the number 2 spot. So, I mean, you get Kenny Galladay, he's out there, but
I don't even know why I got him in the game. So,
Will Dissly,
Are y'all
Julio
trying
Jones.
to confuse me with all these names?
We're trying to throw names out there, but honestly, you're just going to have to go look for the best.
I'll find one. Don't worry. I have my own ways of finding players.
I'm going to put flex right here. And then I'm going to put points projection. Amir Abdullah is the top player.
I am not projected.
I know. I was about to say you've had him already. Amir Abdullah, Nico Collins, and then that Richie James Jr. or Reggie James Jr. Is it Richie or Reggie?
Richie.
It's Richie James Jr.
And he
fell off after the first couple weeks. Yeah.
Is Kenny Galladay still out there?
He's injured too. He's still out there, but he's still questionable. So,
well, I mean, from everything I read, there's a good possibility he's going to be actually playing this week.
Oh well, if he comes back, then that's who I'd grab because none of these other motherfuckers are going to do anything. Ooh, Zacchaeus? Nope. Zacchaeus already played this week and he put up 5.4 points, so never mind.
Yeah.
Sky Moore's not going to play. All he's going to do is get kick returns.
Oh, y'all are killing me.
Just trying to help. I don't know what to do.
Just looking, and I mean, honestly, Nico Collins is your best option because he's gonna start if he does play. But that's the question: if he's gonna play.
Brandon Cooks fell out of favor with Lovey because after the trade
he asked for that trade.
He sat out, and Lovey told him, "If you don't practice, you don't play," and he didn't play the following week. So I don't know.
Yep. What's the other guy? Moore? Is that the other guy that's in Houston? He actually scored a touchdown last week.
Yeah.
I think his name's Moore. I don't know where. I don't see him. Ooh, that Torrey guy for Green Bay. He's available. He had a bunch of targets last week. I don't think he caught any of them, but he had a bunch of targets last week.
Oh, he's perfect.
Gee, thanks. No, I'll find somebody. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Never mind. He only had 4 targets in the past 2 weeks. Or no, 8 targets in the past 2 weeks, 4 each week.
So what I've learned so far is you have to look for the person that is going to get the most, possibly get the most targets this week.
Giants head coach Brian DeBall said he's optimistic Kenny Galladay will play in Week 10. Start the parade, New York. Galladay hasn't played since Week 4 and his grand total of 2 catches in 2022.
Are you saying Galladay or Holiday?
Galladay.
It sounds like you're saying Holiday.
No, it's Galladay.
Galladay.
As the number 3 wideout in a run-first Giants offense. How's he the number 3 wideout? Who are the 1 and 2?
The guy I've got.
Shepard's injured.
Slayton.
Slayton is number 2. Slayton. Who's number 1? Richie James Jr.?
No, I think Slayton's the number 1 guy, to be honest.
Okay, Slayton's the number 1 and Richie's the number 2 because Wan'Dale Robinson, is he in the 1 and 2 slots?
I mean, think he's been in a game.
Yeah, I wouldn't even trust them receivers in New York any damn way.
Guys, I'm heading to bed. I'm tired.
All right.
Damn.
Bye, Evan. Y'all have a good night.
LaVisca Chenault Jr. is who you should have had on your team and should have been in the game because he put up 14.90 points this week, and he's on the fucking free agency list.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
LaVisca Chenault, receiver for Carolina Panthers.
He was a Jaguar, and then he got traded.
Well,
select a player to drop.
The thing is this they just went out today. Okay, so I didn't know that he was out Thursday.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't have anybody to drop to pick this dude up. Unless I drop Cam Akers, but
Camakers.
Kamakers.
I like Canes and Camakers.
Guys, I'm going out now. Bye, Evan.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and end the show as well. I mean, we've been BSing. We can do this on the backstage. We done been on the show for an hour.
It's been a long day.
All right, guys. So it's been another week of Thunderdome Fantasy Weekly Report. We'll be back on our regular time next weekend, Thursday, for Week 10 results, Week 11 matchups. We thank you all for joining in. We thank Kush Crushers, Mr. Josh Miller, for coming in and talking his little smack to Ben. We thank Ben for coming in and talking his little smack earlier. And I mean, we thank all of you guys for being active in the league. That's the main thing.
Exactly.
If you're active in the league, that's what we want. As long as you're active, you're in here.
That was the main thing. Hey, if you don't want to come on the show, that's fine. We get it. Everybody's got their thing.
It'd be nice to be more than 5.
But as long as you're active in the league, I don't care about anything else. That's all I want is active league activity. That's the number one thing. I have a league on Sleeper, and there's a couple people that ain't active, and I'm getting frustrated with it. And it's a money league, $10 buy-in, winner takes all. So I'm probably going to cancel that next year. This is probably going to be the last year for that league because I'm tired of replacing teams. It's just
it gets frustrating.
It does.
Really does. And that was the whole thing that kind of spurred us to really build Thunderdome.
Thunderdome, exactly. It's for league activities, and I mean we got Jeff, who is probably our least knowledgeable of the owners, but he's still active every week. So props to him.
Least knowledgeable?
Well, sorry. Okay, second least knowledgeable.
Thank you. I know. I'll be honest with you. I don't even watch football, but I know how to pick a player. That's all.
Hey, she just found out the fucking ball wasn't round. Okay.
You're smart ass.
It's oblong. No. What kind of ball is this?
No wonder they call it football. It looks like a foot.
It can fit on the top of your foot. Anyway. Well, yeah, we thank everybody for their activity or their being active. That's the main thing in this league. And we do have 4 people on the waiting list now, so that's awesome. I think one of them got dropped off. I think Lindsay told me to take him off the list because he wasn't active in his league on the sleeper that he created. So now I'm back down to 3. Now I'm back down to 1. But I'm pretty sure there's another guy at my work that is interested. But
I know one guy that I'm fine with him being inactive for a few weeks, so I'm good with that. Brandon, if you're listening,
if you want to just not show up for 3 weeks,
don't worry about not paying attention. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure I play you in the next couple of weeks. If you don't want to be there, that's fine. I don't mind. All right,
we get it.
We get it. 9-0. You're the best.
We need to
start busy. No big deal.
John, we need to record him at work so everybody else can hear it.
Well, I do want him to get on next week if he wins, because he's 10-0, man. He's got to come on and talk some smack, man. He's got to be on here at least one time before he loses a damn game, and then all that smack talk goes to Anyway, all right, guys. We'll catch you guys next week. We love you all. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Yeah, peace.
Good night.